I'm looking for Amadeo de Prado.
You're looking for my brother?
May I ask how he died?
No, you may not.
You buried Amadeo.
I would prefer to be remembered as the man who taught him.
I have an uncle. I told him about you in the book.
I believe you and Amadeo were in the resistance.
What if your first assignment was to kill your father?
His life, his world was extraordinary. Makes mine seem so insignificant.
Is revolution and romance what it used to be? Well, I've not been involved in the revolution recently, so I don't know. As far as the other, I have no memory of romance. So I don't have it. And what was the hardest thing for me? The hardest thing for me, which I got great help from Billy, was to do very little. I, as a person, have great energy and hopefully good imagination, and I always tend, my bad side is I do too much. And Billy would always say, do less, do less, do less, do less. Hence a performance where you watch a very ordinary man go through an emotional journey, apparently doing very little. And that was hard for me, but I had help for this one.
And I think also where, you know, most of the scenes we did with Jeremy, he was most of the time listening to other people. He was kind of investigating this story. And I must say, I was amazed by how Jeremy was able to always find the energy. You know, we did a lot of takes, of course, and most of the time we started with the other actors, and we ended up with all Jeremy's close-up. But he was always able to find the energy or find the presence in it.
Well, all I can say is that as I approach death, and I don't know when it's waiting for me, I suppose none of us do, it was when a friend of mine, who I spent a lot of time with in Ireland, he said, you know, we've got to enjoy this summer because we might only have 16 left. I said, what? 16 left? And you begin, as you get older, you begin to count that way. Instead of saying, I am 24, you think, I have maybe 24 left. And it does make you appreciate life more, I think, as you approach death. Of course, one doesn't know whether the number is 1 or what it is. But it's a great reminder. Who was it who said, you know, live every moment as if it's your last? And I think that's really what he was saying. Is that existential? Well, I think one thing which would be good is to organise tax rebates so that film companies are encouraged to come here. One of the best ways of selling a country is through movies. And I know as I film ancient Rome or middle-aged Rome in Budapest that the reason we're in Hungary is because they gave us a better deal than Ireland or Spain. We didn't even think about Greece because I don't think there's any deal there. But we built Rome in a studio outside Hungary. And I know that film companies who come abroad to work do so for financial reasons, but bring necessarily, because they bring in an enormous crew, bring finance to that country, which makes the tax breaks worthwhile to the country, but also then advertised by what you see on the screen. It's difficult, otherwise you tend always to have the ancient monuments. Think of Greece as the ancient monument, you know, the Parthenon or whatever. And Greece is so much more than that. Plates of food, one of the nicest things in Greece is the cooking. Plates of food are very difficult to photograph and don't sort of encourage you to go there. So what you want to see is the Greek mentality, the Greek life, the Greek love of life, the Greek music, everything which a film can help with. So I would say, I think if I was Minister of Tourism, I would encourage my Chancellor to give tax breaks.
I want to know what happened.
Give me your gun. You don't know who you're dealing with.
They lived.
Why don't you just stay?